This is a really odd thing to happen, so just bear with me in the beginning until we get into the really interesting stuff in the second half of the video. So just to brief you on exactly what the China Auto Forum is, it's an event in China organized by the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers. It's abbreviated as CAM, and it's basically a meeting to help unionize the industry, or to effectively unionize it, amongst other things, I'm sure. So they work collaboratively and all make more money as the end goal. That's the point of it. So it actually is a fairly smart thing to do if you can get it to work, I think. It's a way for the leaders in the industry to meet face to face, most likely for a pie and peas and a cider. And it generally is said that the event helps them to find common ground and to help highlight the common goal for the manufacturers in China, which of course would be to understand the economic goals of China, amongst quite a few other things. The World Economic Forum also attends it and actually sponsors the event, and I'm sure there's a few things at play, politically speaking. If you've got any guesses, put it in the comments. Thanks for joining me. It's really nice to see so many people subscribing to the channel. I think last month there was something like, I don't know, 700 or something like that, quite a lot. I'm Ben Alexander, and I talk about the latest EV news around the world, and I make videos every single day, so stick around until the end and then let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, as a side note, apologies for not posting yesterday, but we spent the day looking for a family dog that had escaped from a rural part of Brisbane. So what has happened and why? The big boss of a company called Shangan Automobile, called Wang Jun, said that Chinese brands are poised for a historic opportunity to overtake competitors in the global market. And other executives and politicians spoke of taking the automotive markets by storm and becoming a global leader in EVs. They're kind of hyping up, you know, like trying to take over the world, so to speak. So they want to sell their cars far and wide, everywhere. They know there's a load of money to be made from this. So far, we have to say they're doing exactly what they're saying, because in Australia, at least last year, 80% of all EVs that came into the country came from China. I'll have a look into how many go to the UK from China too, and I'll let you know in one of the next videos. That's a really interesting thing to know, I think. I do wonder if this is the beginning of the end for companies like Toyota and Honda. That's the size of the shift, I think, that we're in these days. So in China, 25% of their new vehicle sales were EVs, of which 85% of that 25% came from China. So we can safely say that China are doing very, very well here in Australia, or just helping catalyze the markets, because Legacy Auto has been way too slow in acting out the changes that is required from them. So let's just run a sort of poll. So there's just an idea I had. Some people in the comments have been saying that they think Chinese EVs are just filling a temporary hole until Legacy Auto steps up to the game. What do you all think of this? If as many of you as possible could let me know your thoughts, and I'll count up what people think is true or not true. So just feel free to put the word true or not true in the comments, and I'll let you know in a few days once there's been a few comments and I can count them up. We're seeing things change quite slowly, and of course these large companies such as Toyota have been doing some things the same way for years, and now they have to change their manufacturing plants and train staff and employ new people to do wildly different things to so that they can start making and selling these EVs. And of course, in a way, it makes sense to want to stick to the well-oiled system for as long as you can, I suppose. Let other people iron out the issues in this new system that we're sort of moving into with EVs and chargers in public. So this is a part of the reason Toyota and BYD formed an alliance in April 2021, signing the dotted line for BYD to sell motors, controllers and batteries to Toyota for their vehicles. Recently, Toyota did say that they will be making their own batteries in the not too distant future, but this was akin to Toyota caving in under the pressure, I should imagine. This year at the event, a bunch of manufacturers all signed an agreement. This is the meat of this topic. So they all signed this agreement, which was revoked within 2 days of it going public. I'll put the list of companies that signed the agreement on the screen. The most well-known are BYD, Tesla, SAIC, China 4, and Geely. The main part of the agreement which was made was this. First, we will abide by the rules and regulations of the industry, regulate marketing activities, maintain a fair competition order, and not disrupt the fair competition order of the market with abnormal prices. They say that because there's been price war stuff going on, people really undercutting each other. Second, we will pay attention to the marketing methods. We will not exaggerate or conduct false marketing, not to mislead customers, to attract attention and increase customer acquisition. Third, we will put quality first, use quality-oriented, high-quality products and services to meet the people's needs for a better life. Fourth, we will actively fulfill our social responsibility and take an active role in helping to stabilize economic growth, increase confidence and prevent risks, and work together to make a contribution to national economic growth. Didn't even last 2 days, which is pretty ridiculous. It's a bit of a pathetic attempt at collaboration, I think. The subsequent retraction of fair pricing pledges by these prominent companies left a lot of people perplexed, can't say it. This raises questions about the motivations and dynamics at play here. So I've got some notes here. So just some theories. So this is quite interesting. Also, it highlights the pressures, I think, that each and every one of the leaders of these companies will no doubt be feeling. There are a few quite reasonable theories as to why this happened. Competitive pressure and market realities is one theory. It suggests that intense competition and market realities compelled certain brands to revoke their fair pricing pledges amid a highly competitive landscape, which makes perfect sense. People are kind of holding their cards close to their chests. This is pretty much bang on, in my opinion. It might suggest that some pressure was applied to them whilst at the event to sign this pledge, in public. Supply chain challenges and cost factors. Car manufacturing involves very complex supply chains and multiple cost factors. Fluctuations in raw material prices, production costs, and supply chain disruptions can significantly impact a company's bottom line. So how much money do they make? And I imagine that the companies realized that they had nothing to gain by sticking to the pledge, in their opinion, and therefore revoked it and then went back to business as usual. I think they would have had something to gain actually by doing that, I think. Internal decision-making and strategic shifts and regulatory considerations and policy considerations. I had written along a script for this, for these theories, but it's quite long and quite a complex topic. So to keep the video length a reasonable length, I actually kept it quite brief on each of these. So if you want me to do another video on those, put it in the comments below. Thanks to the people that have joined on Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon or YouTube memberships. Links to these will be in the description below. The cheapest and easiest way to help is by simply pressing the like button. Supporting in any of these ways helps me to do this every day, and actually YouTube memberships is only about $3 a month or so. So remember to subscribe for my daily videos about EV news from around the world.